Tell me, why does social media make us hate the exact lives we used to be perfectly happy with? Even though we have everything we need, somewhere deep down we always feel empty, right? Think back to when social media was first introduced. We were in our early stages, and so were the apps. Unlike the younger generation now who grew up with phones in their hands and adapted instantly, we were brand new to discovering this world. Even if an app looked easy to navigate, just figuring those four basic features felt like a real struggle for us, isn't it? Back then, the online population was tiny. We were all discovering this new space together. But here is the big part: the internet was slow. The data speeds didn't allow us to waste hours scrolling. Yet, our curiosity and the urge to discover something new gave us the patience to actually sit and wait for a page to load. With time, we got accustomed to it. Back then, if a page took too long, we were quick to leave the app and just continue with our daily physical lives. Our own reality was the only thing we could see and experience. We couldn't constantly watch how everyone else was living. Look, comparing ourselves to others has always been a natural human behavior, even before the internet existed. But when the internet got faster, everything changed. We went from comparing ourselves to one or two people we saw physically every day to instantly judging our lives against 10 different strangers living in a completely different country. So today, together, let's break down few more points as to why this interesting social media apps slowly started to make us hate it instead. The first point is the blame shift trap. What if I tell you that social media is actually not to be blamed? You might instantly disagree with me on this, but pause and think for a second. The app was built by another person, someone who probably didn't have the slightest idea that it would eventually turn out this way. At the end of the day, it was just a tool created by a human. So here is what comes next. What about the data and the lives we share completely willingly online? Who should we blame for that? The app or the person who is using it? They are two completely different things, but my point is there is a massive difference between blindly blaming social media as a whole and actually looking in the mirror to understand why we are participating in it this way. I have categorized the second point as the overwhelmed mind. So, coming from the millennial age, discovering social media for the first time was like finding a fallen meteor in the middle of the forest or in the middle of nowhere. I say this because initially my life surrounded only by the people I actually knew and spoke to physically. Connecting with a total stranger from a completely different place felt like actual magic. At first, your list would just be the friends and family you already knew. But the next thing you knew, you were friends with your friend's friend, someone you had never even met. That was the small shift happening when there were probably only 200 people on the entire app. But now imagine when you have billions of people underneath it. My point is this: when you have a small circle around you, it is manageable to exchange greetings and stay connected. But when you have too many, it becomes entirely overwhelming. And when it gets to be too much to handle, right, your brain automatically rejects the noise. It begins to make you feel resentment or hatred simply because you are constantly witnessing the raw lives, the happy moments, the sad moments, and the successes of millions of people out there all at once. The third point is the dopamine escape hatch. So, social media now versus the social media at its early stage are two completely different eras of life. Anyone who truly thinks about and understands this will never blindly blame social media again. Why am I saying this? So, one thing I need you to be clear about is that problems are always present with or without social media. Before it existed, we dealt with our problems wholly. We took the time to pause and make a good decision. But today, we have social media acting like a social support system. We avoid dealing with things. Say, if an issue occurs, it feels unbearable, and instead of solving it, we choose to hit our dopamine. While in a completely stressed mindset, we instantly shift into a rewarding, feel good craving instead. Say, if I were to experience something bad in my era, getting on social media would have not helped me. The internet was too slow. There was no way to connect or watch something to distract myself. We still went through bad phases, of course. For me, whenever I faced something stressful, I used to lock myself in the room and open a book to study. That is how I dealt with it. But now, if I go through heavy feelings or emotions, I don't even have to think about what to do because my phone is always right next to me. I can instantly open it, and in 10 minutes, I have covered everything happening in the world. You see the massive difference, right? The next point is number four, the invisible engine. If you are someone who uses social media today, one thing you need to realize is how much it has evolved. In fact, social media wouldn't even be possible without an active internet connection. It would just be a dead app. Before we choose to hate it, we should understand how the sheer speed of the internet changed everything we see online these days. Back then, browsing simple text and loading basic images was our only option. Streaming videos or making video calls was practically impossible. Look at us now. Today, we can download a massive file in under 10 seconds. We have 4K and 8K video streaming, real time AI cloud computing, and multiple devices running simultaneously across entire smart homes. But here is the catch, with that extreme speed comes frictionless delivery. It makes you feel so comfortable that you keep scrolling endlessly without even realizing how much precious time you have lost under its spell. Point number five is from connection to commerce. This next point is incredibly interesting. Social media apps used to be a simple feed of posts from friends and mutual circles, but they have evolved into a purely algorithmic experience. So, earlier, the app simply used to show updates in chronological order as they happen, but now they are run by massive recommendation engines that uses artificial intelligence, machine learning to analyze your watch time, the clicks and interactions, just to serve you highly personalized content. Like I said, it used to be about socially connecting with family or friends, but now these platforms are evolving with time and the commercial needs of users. Imagine this: you can buy anything right now with just one click. You might be wondering, how does the algorithm know exactly what I want? But the data is all there. Maybe you just are not accepting it. We have come to a stage where our deepest behaviors are monitored to predict our needs and wants. It is becoming more of a business model rather than a tool for social engagement. Take Instagram, for example. You have the option to keep your profile private or switch it to a business profile for the public. If you can truly understand the difference between these two options, right, you will definitely understand why you are seeing what you are seeing on your feed. Always remember this: you are using the app for free. And if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. Before we choose to hate how social media is performing these days, we must take a closer look at how and what we are actively using it for. There are still so many great things we can accomplish even with these ever evolving machines. Here is my advice to you: never use social media to fix a bad state of mind. Instead of running to a screen when you are down, reach out to a real person. Share what you are feeling and exchange a genuine human connection. If you find yourself addicted to social media, remember that you can still manage your time. You don't have to stop completely all at once. Instead of trying to cut out half an hour, start small. Be mindful and keep track of your usage by setting a simple 10-minute timer. And make sure you use these platforms mindfully. Know what you actually like and what you are genuinely interested in watching. The good news is you already have those options built right into the app. You can actively select interested or not interested on content. By doing that, you are training the algorithm to show you what brings you contentment rather than what triggers your anxiety. So, if you live a busy life and can't physically step out into nature, follow nature pages instead. I'm sure you already follow a few, but stick to pages that ease your mind rather than overstimulating it. In fact, you can also check out my own photography page. I am out there sharing those peaceful moments, and if you like, you can follow me on that journey as well. You can scan this QR code right here on the screen, and it will redirect you straight to my page. I am not trying to self promote. Uh, I'm just telling you it's out there. The choice is entirely yours. From now on, before you open any social media app, just pause and think for 3 seconds. Ask yourself, do I really need to spend my time here right now, or should I probably start working on that hobby I've been putting off? There are multiple solutions to every single problem we face in this world, but always be aware that this digital world will forever evolve. Your only job is to make sure that you are evolving alongside it in your absolute best and highest form as a human being. We have finally reached the end of our episode today. And thank you so much for listening and for being here with me today. I always try to speak from my own experience and heart. So, you are listening to the Earth Dragon Speaks podcast, and my name is Vin. See you in my next episode. And until then, take care of yourselves.